Well guys, today's video feels more relevant than ever. Today we're taking a look at a situation here on YouTube that is more reminiscent of what we have come to expect from Twitch, but hey, even with that being said, I can't really say that I'm surprised. Real quick, apologies if I sound a little bit funny. I'm currently in the process of losing my voice, so please bear with me. If you frequent the tube or Twitter over the last week or so, you have probably seen a screenshot of a YouTube video titled something like breastfeeding tips and tricks with a picture of a topless woman. Now, due to what I've experienced over the last week or so on this website, I'm not taking the risk of showing that screenshot. Even if I censored it, I don't want to get striked again, so you're just gonna have to use your imagination. But basically, if you haven't seen it, it's a video of a woman giving, quote, breastfeeding tips and tricks, where she's just naked bouncing her boobs around, and in the description is a link to her OnlyFans. Now, since that video has been discovered, it became a very big topic of discussion on social media. Lots of YouTubers have covered it, lots of people on Twitter are talking about it, so obviously the channel that uploaded that video has been banned, because if YouTube is called out for stuff enough, they will do what's right, but that's the only way they will ever do what's right. And with this much focus on that one specific video, they really had no other option but to ban the channel. Now, there's a couple reasons why I think this is an important thing to talk about. One, and kind of a coincidental reason, is because earlier this week I uploaded a video about a guy who liked to be breastfed by his wife, and it received a community guidelines strike and it was removed from YouTube, and the reason I was given was because it violated YouTube's sex and nudity policy. So, I'm sure you can imagine my frustration when I'm having to deal with shit like this, my channel getting striked, my channel being at risk, for talking about a video that is still up on YouTube right now. The video I talked about is live on YouTube as we speak. For some reason, it hasn't gotten a strike, and at the same time, there are people out there bouncing their naked tits, advertising their pornography, with no strikes to be seen. The video in question, the one that blew up on Twitter, was up for a week or two before anything happened, and the only reason anything happened is because that screenshot went so viral on Twitter. I promise you, if that screenshot was never shared, that video would still be up right now. And I can guarantee you this because it's absolutely nothing new. I've seen a lot of videos talking about how this is the new YouTube meta. It's not. This has been around for years. Explicit content creators have been abusing YouTube's nudity policies forever, and nobody gives a shit. I've talked about this many times before, but I don't think it's ever been more relevant than in a video talking about people making these kinds of videos. If you go onto YouTube and you type in see-through shirt or transparent clothing try-ons, transparent yoga, anything like that, you will be met by hundreds of thousands of videos with millions of views, most of them not even age restricted, of women trying on clothing where you can see everything, there is nothing left to the imagination, with a link in the video description to explicit content. I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. You can fire up a private browser right now, no account, no age verification needed, nothing. Type in transparent clothes onto YouTube and you are watching porn. Like I said, these videos are not even age restricted. They are abusing the nudity policy because these women are somehow able to portray these videos as educational. Because if nudity is educational on YouTube, it's allowed. We can take a look at the community guideline addressing nudity real quick. Basically, the first thing it says is don't post content on YouTube if it shows the depiction of clothed or unclothed genitals, breasts, or buttocks that are meant for sexual gratification. And somehow, a woman trying on see-through clothing that is meant to direct people to her OnlyFans does not fall under that category. What it does manage to fall under somehow is the educational content exception of this guideline, where it reads, we may allow sexual content when the primary purpose is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic, and it isn't gratuitous. For example, a documentary on breast cancer that shows nude breasts would be appropriate, but posting clips out of context to sexually gratify from the same documentary is not. So, could somebody at YouTube please explain to me what is so educational about a woman putting on different shirts that are see-through to show off her breasts? Are we being educated as to what color her nipples are? Are we learning about what the breasts of a random woman look like? Because I mean, sure, okay, that's educational by definition, I guess. I don't think it really falls into this exception though. Now look, I'm not trying to be a weenie, I'm not trying to be all upset about this, but given what I've been having to deal with this week, this topic is a little bit of a sore spot for me, not gonna lie, and it's just YouTube's classic inability to be consistent about anything. Now look, it's one thing to say you don't want sex and you don't want nudity, nudity on your platform. I'm behind that. I don't think those are things YouTube really needs. Just be consistent. If you're gonna remove my video talking about a video on YouTube, that original video should be removed. So should all of the hundreds of other reactions to that video that are still live on YouTube right now. If you're gonna try and play the hero and ban the breastfeeding girl, ban all of these other girls doing the exact same thing. And look, I have nothing against these women. If you find a loophole in a system and the creators of that system are too fucking stupid to do anything about it, or just unwilling to, might as well make money off of it. I don't care if you show your boobs online, but at the same time, this is my form of income. This is how I pay my bills. And yes, I did bring that upon myself. And yes, with that comes me having to play by YouTube's rules. I have no problem with that. But when the rules make no fucking sense, and it seems like the people who try to follow them get punished and the people who go directly against them have nothing done to them, it's a little confusing. It's just unfair, and I don't really understand why YouTube has so much trouble with things of this nature. I mean, look, I've never tried to run one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, so I'm not gonna act like I have all the answers, but this does not seem like this should be such a difficult issue to tackle. I mean, shit, either allow nudity or don't. Make that decision, and then from that, go forward. Make real human decisions that follow your guidelines instead of trying to act like women who are trying to advertise their OnlyFans through trying on see-through clothes on your website is in any way, shape, or form educational content. I mean, it's just really not that difficult. Use some of the billions of dollars you guys bring in as profit and hire people to actually go through this content. It's gonna cost a lot of money, yeah, but eventually this is gonna start running creators off the platform. It's gonna happen. It already has been for a long time, but for most people, there's just nowhere else to go. I don't want to go anywhere. I love YouTube, and even if this never gets fixed, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see myself going anywhere. But just because so many people have that mindset, it's not a good reason to not fix the huge problems with your platform. The automated moderation and the lack of human review of anything that goes on this website is the biggest issue YouTube has ever faced. It always has been, and it likely always will be. And it all just seems so damn simple. I'm sure there's a ton that the average person does not think about when it comes to trying to tackle an issue like this. I understand that. But at some point, it's like, how is there this disconnect? How does not only every content creator, but also basically everybody who interacts with YouTube in any meaningful way know of all these issues and know how big of a problem they can be, while YouTube is seemingly completely blind to all of it? I think the obvious answer is that they're not, but YouTube just knows that creators who make this kind of content in this sort of form have nowhere else to go, so what do they need to do about it? Why do the hard work? Why try and fix these issues if at the end of the day, doing it will not do anything for YouTube? It's only going to benefit the creators. I could be wrong, but that's really how it feels. Well guys, what a nothing sandwich, am I right? My goodness. I mean, I feel like this is an important issue to talk about because right now there's a lot of extra eyes on it. Do I think those extra eyes are going to change anything? Not really, but I still think it's important to discuss. However, I'm too scared to show anything I'm talking about in this video, so I'm not gonna be. I really don't want to get 2 strikes in 1 week. So this was basically me just complaining for 10 minutes while you guys read the community guidelines. Really thrilling content I'm pushing out, huh? Let me know what you guys think though. Is this something you think we'll start to see a shift in now that it's kind of been exposed to the masses? I feel like before this was a little bit more unknown, and since it trended on Twitter, I don't really think you can say that anymore. I would say that kind of makes me hopeful, but not really, because we've seen situations far bigger than this one not go in the direction that anybody wanted them to. I mean, think back to the Sniper Wolf fiasco. If YouTube couldn't put their foot down there, I think there's little hope anything will be different now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.